rideshare companies like Uber, some people believe when they, charged fares on a corporate credit card that they were getting price gouged. And Uber actually had a data scientist that determined if your phone battery is low, then you were really desperate for a fare, and that you would shell your money for a higher fare.
Insurance companies dropped far more policies than they have promised to increase due to Commissioner Lotta's deal.
These folks say now they're underinsured, and even those with insurance are facing denials by insurance companies.
This podcast series is about home insurance industry tactics to deny consumers the rights they were promised and provide a roadmap for how to claw back what you're owed.
This has been a complete disaster, but for the commissioner to say it was something the companies took advantage of, it's something he negotiated behind closed doors with the companies and presented, and he was right there. He knew what was going on. For him to now say, oh, wow, the companies took advantage, he was a party to this. He's the insurance commissioner. I mean, Ricardo Lara has totally mismanaged this situation. And if he was an honorable person, he'd step aside and let someone else who can do the job do the job.
Consumer Watchdog says it's not the job of policyholders to bail out for bad business decisions, adding State Farm is only entitled to rates they can prove.
We haven't seen the evidence that would justify the emergency request that they're making.
State Farm has acknowledged that it has the money it needs to pay the claims, at least that have come in so far from the LA wildfires. This increase is designed to prop up State Farm's financial condition and its credit rating on Wall Street, and they've acknowledged that.
Consumer Watchdog has used Prop 103's public participation process to save homeowners and drivers $6.5 billion by challenging excessive insurance rates in the last 20 years.
Imposing hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in surcharges on policyholders who are not even part of the FAIR plan is simply unfair.
Consumer Watchdog has filed a lawsuit against California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara. Attorney Ryan Molino says insurance companies should be on the hook for the cost of the fires.
Where we really have a problem is when the board should be acting to discipline a doctor for doing things like doing drugs on the job, but they send them into treatment again and wash their hands of it. That puts patients at risk and should never happen.
What does this $59 billion overcharge really mean to the rest of us?
Well, it means that California's been an ATM for the rest of the country, and that is what that extra $59 billion represents. It represents the extra refining margins that they made here versus the rest of the country.
Does Uber engage in surveillance pricing? It says it doesn't, but under a new law, it says it does.
The nonprofit Consumer Watchdog sounding the alarm as Uber makes a push for a new ballot measure that experts say will hurt riders' options if they're involved in an accident.
What it's doing is taking away its passengers' rights to get attorneys when they're injured in an accident, and also limiting the medical recovery because they're limiting the contract between the attorney and the consumer.